Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Blue Devil with Overclock.net. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Smart RGB 700 watt power supply from Thermaltake. This is a entry-level power supply rated at 80 plus rating, so it's not going to be the highest efficiency, but it does feature an RGB 256 PSU fan in there. So it looks like everything is going RGB nowadays, including power supplies. So it does have a button on the back side to control some RGB functions. And then as far as efficiency goes, it is rated in between 84 and 86% on the efficiency, so it falls right in line with the 80 plus rating. Other than that, let's go ahead and get this bad boy unboxed. So in terms of the power supply, you do get the RGB lighting effect here, probably to cycle through a lot of the RGB functions. Imagine the 7 different color modes that states on the box here, an actual switch here, and then some basic functions as well too. Form factor seems nice. Again, like I was thinking, it does have the ketchup and mustard cables. They are braided for the most part, but you can still see a lot of the ketchup and mustard. Like I said, it is going to be decent for a basic build, a build that you're going to stick away without with a side panel on. But then again, though, if you had an RGB fan on your power supply, I don't know, it's kind of, I guess for the price point, I really can't complain. Alright, so starting with the main power supply connector. Yeah, fairly basic. I wish this would have came up a little bit more, but again, it's probably fairly basic. This does come apart, kind of slides in. I know I've struggled before, so that's nice. Here is your two pigtailed PCIe connectors. I'm not a huge fan of this. I would like to see 2 different cables, but again, cost-saving measures, being a $40 unit, really can't explain or expect a whole ton. So, and then you do get a plethora of other cables. It's kind of a mess, spaghetti monster mess. So, it's kind of interesting how they did this. So you do get 3 SATA connections, and on the end of the SATA connection, you get a Molex connection, which interesting. I wonder if that, and it's the same thing on the other one as well too. So interesting. So again, 3 more SATA connections with a Molex on the end, and then on the end of this Molex cable, you get 3 Molex connectors, and then followed by your floppy disk drive connector, which I'll probably never use. There's the 4x4 EPS CPU header. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here, before I put any power to it, is I would like to crack this open and see what's inside. Alright, so inside the power supply here, before I put any sort of power into it, I want to crack it open, look at the capacitors. It looks pretty nice, actually. Looks pretty well, neatly done. Interesting to note that you do, interestingly enough, there is a shroud or a little piece of plastic, plexiglass that is right over the RGB fan. So, alright guys, we're back. I jumped this power supply. Basically, I hooked it up with a power supply jumper, and I just wanted to show you the RGB functions of this power supply. So the button on the side here will control 7 different light modes. So you're looking at green, blue, looks like yellow, goldish, purple, like a teal blue, white, red, a little brighter red, green again. And then if you keep on hitting it, it'll toggle through some different modes. So this one's more like a breathing mode. Toggle through all the colors again, and then you get a little bit brighter. And I think this just basically stays on a constant color. So and then off. Power supply fan is pretty quiet actually. It's not a bad looking power supply. It's tiny though. It is a really tiny power supply. Not a bad looking power supply. It would fit into a budget build, no problem. Nice and quiet. The only, I would say, caveats is that I'm too used to having nicer cables. No modular cables basically means you have a spaghetti monster everywhere you go. So you gotta either buy a case with a basement or be on your A game with cable management skills. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. Blue Devil out.